Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today is meet everyone from the blind community, or what these guys are like. Now, I know I've only done a few videos with these guys, or on these guys in particular, and most of these people are, for the most part, amazing. You're going to get to, for a lot of my sighted viewers, you're gonna get to hear some of their characteristics and what they're like, and if you are interested in learning about them more, or possibly meeting them on calls, these guys are very flexible, most of them, but some of them it is quite hard. So we're gonna go in order from first to last, the way I met them. July 23rd, 2020, when I joined the blind community. The first person we met is Bryce Sumner. Actually, I've known Hunter first. I actually met Hunter, and that was actually before I even joined the blind community, but he doesn't really do anything, and let's just say he doesn't really do much because he genuinely does things we do not necessarily like, most of us in the blind community, so he's kind of in his own route with a few others. Next is Bryce, and he's not really on his own, but unlike Hunter, he actually really moves fast. Hunter kind of just does his own thing, if I have to be honest with everyone. Bryce moves very fast. Then I met, so Bryce is Get Wrecked Gaming. I'll link his channel in the description. Then we have Elliott, probably one of the best girls from the blind community of all time. Allie is certainly amazing. She considers herself a musician. She changed her name recently on YouTube. It was Elliott, the blind musician / storyteller, I think back in October, November kind of thing. And then she changed it slightly to / script creator. So kind of a name change towards the last part of the line. But it's different, and my brother's playing music in the background, so yeah. We have Bryce, Allie, Hunter, who's not really active much, or who doesn't really do a lot with any of us. Then we have Matt. Matt is one of the best guys. He's probably the one I've done videos on the most, particularly in the blind community when he's needed support. Particularly, he's one of the smartest, actually. One of the 3 smartest kids. The other 2 being Blind Gaming Productions, aka Trey, and Brandon Henderson, which he's going to be changing his name on YouTube pretty soon to Blazy H Productions, and that is probably going to be, I don't know when. But we have Matt. Matt is our third person. He is Matt the Awesome Guy 2021 and Matt the Awesome Guy Gaming and Live Streams. He has 2 YouTube channels, but I don't know exactly what the whole motive is. I will be putting, like I said, everybody's channels in the description. The fourth person we met is Agent Howard, and he is, I think, a TTS creator. He kind of just makes TTS videos, and earlier today he was doing a live stream. If you are subscribed to his channel, he was doing a live stream called Q&A, just like frequently asked questions, because we've actually gotten very far in the blind community. Most of these guys have actually been in this whole group since December of 19. and January of 20, and that was in the time that we had Reese, RB Productions, but then I actually did not know about Reese back in those old days. I recently met Reese, and he's actually one of the last people I've met, but we're getting out of order. So so the fourth one was Ajin, third one was Matt, second was Bryce, no, Allie. First was Bryce, and then before that was Hunter, before I even met everybody else. And the fifth person we've met was Melody. She's kind of all over the place, like Hunter, but she actually talks to all of us, and she's very proactive. And is very productive. She is very productive. I'm not going to lie. The next two are actually a pair. And this is because I met these two at the same time. That would be Riley Blades and Blind Gamer Studios. Riley the Random Blind Girl. I've mentioned her once or twice before, maybe a few times, in another video. Riley and BGS. Those two genuinely just sit around and joke. That's all they literally do. I'm not gonna lie. They're literally amazing. And then following that, I met... Who did I meet after that, I wonder? I'm trying to think whether I met... It was Brianna or Alexa. I believe it was Bree. But if I'm not wrong, I believe it was her. Breezy V Productions. Oh, yeah. I bet I got a few dislikes on a video that I reacted to from her premiere on Valentine's Day. You guys can see that on the channel. That should be right there, actually. Yeah. Breezy. Then we have Blazy. That's Brandon. So, Breezy and Brandon. So, yeah, Brianna and Brandon. I met around the same time. Actually, I met Bree in August, and then I met Brandon about a month later. So, that's about 6 or 7 or 8 people already. Let's see. Then I'm actually, before those two, between Riley, BGS, Breezy, and Brandon, I met Micah, Artenisa, and Kimani. Those three particularly kind of just all do their own thing. A lot of kids just kind of do their own thing. That's kind of what the whole thing is about. Kimani just doesn't really do anything particularly. He kind of just sits around and kind of likes to, I guess, do his own thing. I guess he could be on his own sometimes like Hunter, because he doesn't really do much. And he will kind of just like joke around sometimes, but most of the time he's not really even funny. But like I said, most of these guys are nice. Most, if not all of them. If not, Matt is probably one of the nicest. Then, after those 7 that I just named, after Bree and Brandon, we have Carrie. She is a big fan in the TTS community. She does a lot of TTS videos. Really good. And then, around the same time, I kind of started talking to Brooks. It's been a while since I've spoken to him, but we don't really talk much anymore because of something that happened a few weeks ago. I don't know entirely the whole storyline of that. You probably would have to ask Austin, which I did not really meet much, but I've seen in a few videos, and I kind of know who he is, but I've never really talked to him. Austin kind of just, he's a techie dude. That's where we can get at there. He's really into tech. He does a lot of tech reviews. Austin's Life, Austin's Talk Show, Austin's Technology, and more. He has 3 YouTube channels, as I just named. Although, I don't know if I'll be able to put everything in the description. You can scroll through the video and then find the thingies. Austin, like I said, particularly does tech reviews. And so does everyone in that side of the group. Cloud, Alfonso, Tony. After that, I met Bridget R. She is a musician as far as instruments goes. She plays the saxophone, piano, trumpet, all sorts of things. You would absolutely get a kick of her if you are interested in musician, but you don't want to get or dive very deep into the blind community. Particularly, like I said, actually, Bridget's probably one of our only musicians who plays strictly instruments. Allie, like I said, is another one of our musicians, but she does singing. Then we have Trey Smith, Blind Gaming Productions. Like I said, I think I mentioned him earlier. He kind of does TTS videos, but it's a little bit hard considering how limited he, myself, Brandon, and everybody else that's going to be doing TTS videos in the future is limited on technology. Due to the fact that you have to, for those of you who already know what a TTS video is, you kind of have to use Balabolka and Goldwave. For those of you who know all of that, you guys can do what you need to do on those things if you know what you're doing. But Trey teaches you very well when it comes to editing. And he is, I guess we could say, smart. Because, if you asked him, like, how to edit a TTS video, he won't necessarily guide you, but he is making a few video tutorials on Blind Gaming Productions on his YouTube channel, walking you through it by voice. So I haven't seen episode 1, but I did see episode 2 at the time this is being recorded, Friday, February 25th. And he did not have his computer on hand. That does not very much help when I need to edit a TTS video, or if I wanted to make a TTS video, and I'm actually not using Goldwave. I'm not like Matt, Brandon, Trey, and any of those guys. So, yeah. Next up, we have Jaden. She doesn't really associate with the blind community, with the rest of these guys, but particularly she kind of just talks to Allie. All she does is talks to Allie. And, well, she gives a lot of advice. She's really good at giving advice. And, she has not actually been featured in one of my videos. She has not actually been featured in any of my videos, for that matter. And then I met Julian. He has been featured in one of my videos in a Skype call. So, when we thought that something happened to Jaden, you can look back on my channel. That's probably one of the first videos I really made on anyone, other than those supporting Matt videos, because he was feeling down of some sort. I don't know, but Matt is literally amazing. Don't just sit there and not care about Matt because Matt is literally amazing. And he can actually point you in the right direction if you ask him anything. Just about if it comes up to any topic. These kids particularly, they all know what they're doing. And then after Jay and Julian, we have Hamid. Hamid... Oh, okay. Hamid, basically, he's an audio gamer. And a lot of these guys are. A lot of these guys are audio gamers. I am not, however. Matt was giving me a recommendation the other day to get TK from blindzone.edu, but I'm not going to pay $10 for that thing, because I'm already looking forward to possibly going to Enchanted Hills this year for the summer. I'll probably be spending most of my summer up there anyway, because, yeah. But if you know where Enchanted Hills is, you know who you are. Yeah. Hamid may have been one of the last people I met in around that era. That was towards the end of 2020. It took me a few months to get a hold of a lot of these guys. And then I met Carrie after Hamid. Then I met Alfonso. He has a bit of vision, but he absolutely loves interacting with us. And if you hear his voice, you'd think he's an adult. I don't know whether that's true or not, but if anybody knows for sure, because I've heard he's somewhere in his 30s, but then I've also heard he's somewhere around 14, so it's hard to know with Alfonso, because Riley, BGS, and everybody else in their group, on their side of the group, they're all jokesters. And then I met Cloud Army, which it wasn't a very pleasant talk I had with him because of some stuff that happened in that era. And this is still towards the end of 2020, which Cloud Army associates with people like Hunter, and they're basically just streaming 24/7. That's all they're really doing. That's what those two are really even doing. And I don't even know. Brooks. Let's see. We have Brooks, Austin, Alfonso, Riley, BGS, Cloud Army, Hunter, Allie, Trey, Hamid, Matt. There's a lot of kids. Bridget, Brianna, Brandon. There are a lot of kids. There really are. And, yeah, my brother's way over there yelling in the background, playing GTA, I think. But now I'm actually going to get to describing the characteristics of my most favorite kids. And we're going to start with Matt, because... And no, I'm not picking on Matt. I'm just saying that we're starting with him because he has a lot of great content and a lot of great characteristics. That is really good to know about him. Matt, the awesome guy. Particularly just like... He does TTS videos too, but he does not necessarily, like, he wouldn't understand certain things, I guess. So, like, if you make something clear to him, like, of what you're trying to address, like yesterday I was talking about Zoom and what's going to happen, because somebody in the blind community will be buying Zoom Pro, which I think that's going to be Melody, and that's going to be for some meetings we're going to be doing in the future. I don't know for what, but we have to kind of decide that upon ourselves. Myself, Matt, Melody, and a lot of others on our side of the group. But then one of the newest kids I've actually met recently, on the week of the 15th. Actually, it was on Saturday evening, before the week of the 15th. Jael. That would be Blind Tech Productions, and I actually met him through BGS, through Blind Gamer Studios. BTP he's okay. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He's actually just, I guess, an audio gamer. Doesn't really edit much in Goldwave, but, like, these guys particularly just don't even, like, a lot of these guys are mostly audio gamers. Now, Matt, I think, knows BTP, but doesn't talk to him. And so one of the best characteristics about Matt, like I said earlier, was he associates, like, he knows what he's doing, and he really maintains a great environment when it comes to helping. Because recently I got NVDA remote for Windows, and I needed help learning how to work that. And around this times of era, before this time, I actually met. Now this was back before back and around the time I met Micah. Francis Cole. Oh, Francis is amazing. He'll treat you as if he's a father to you. And wait until you guys see some of his streams. Francis is literally a father to some kids. Like, he really, or like a master, or like an instructor. Basically, he's very, very helpful and very generous to everyone. You would absolutely love him. Mostly my sighted viewers. But for those of you who already know Francis Cole, you kind of already know his characteristics. But for those of you who don't know Francis, his characteristics are, well, he's funny. He loves to laugh. He plays Manamon. Manamon is an audio game. You may want to look on his channel for some of the streams he's done on Manamon. He really, really knows he really knows how to take care of someone. When someone's feeling down, when somebody's feeling sad, when someone is bored and he wants to entertain them, he's very good. And that's about it. Now, what do I personally think about all of these guys? Between the July and the first days of August era, between those first four kids, they were pretty good and helpful. I mean, honestly, I did not have much to do with them. It took me at least a week to get used to everybody's names when I met them in a Google Meet that was hosted by Bryce and Allie and Jaden. And then I think there was a few others in that Google Meet. I don't remember who, but it was great. Then Melody. Then comes Melody. Melody kind of was okay. I mean, there were times when me and her didn't really respect each other much, but that was because of something that happened in August. Which I'm not going to get into because it's not what I should do. But other than that, Melody is a great girl. Really good girl. Now, If you've known her for the last 9 months, you'd understand why she is the way she is. Everyone is different, and she really is different in a way. She's amazing, like I said. But if you've seen what she's like, or what her interactions with some of us is like, you'd understand. But if you don't know, well, you basically would have to meet her. She is different, like I said. So, if you see her acting strangely, if you ever met her and you notice she's acting strangely than others, then you can ask one of her assistants. There's a few on the caseload. And with Matt being one of the best, Matt's help towards Melody is actually one of the best. Because Matt is almost like a counselor. Let's put it that way. He's almost like a counselor. And you don't never expect to meet kids like Matt, and then, yeah. And actually, as far as Alexa goes, this is going to some of the newer groups. Like some of the newer era of kids. Alexa and those other three. I forget who those were. I actually met her in person at a camp at Bloomfield, which is a part of Los Angeles' Wayfinder Family Services program. But other than that, she's pretty good. And a lot of us kids in some of that era, in the newer era, actually have some of the same interests, particularly Micah as well. We all have interest in ringtones, and we all have interest in iOS. Actually, most of us are using iOS anyway. I think the only one who isn't even using any iOS is Brandon. And I think he's only using a trashy Motorola phone. And I know Brandon doesn't like those phones, because I know he's expressed it to me a few times. But still, everybody uses Windows. Mostly everybody uses Windows 10, to be exact. I'm probably one of the only ones that uses 7. As you may have seen in one of my other maybe videos in the past, or streams, you may have seen me using 7. But I want to start getting into the hang of using 10. I know how it works, and I have a Windows 10 computer. But that's at school. And my current Windows 10 computer is at school. And as you guessed, it's a school computer, so that's why. But I mean, I don't mind using that Windows 10 computer. It's just I won't get access to it until I return to school in person, which, when will that be? Probably never. I don't know. Let me think, though, because... Hold on, I'm going to mute myself for a second. Hold on one sec. Alright, you guys. I probably could have stopped the recording, but I don't know. Okay. Now we're actually going into some of the other kids who are not as interactive, but they still get great credit for some of their actions. And we're actually going to be starting with I don't actually know where to start. I actually don't know where to start with this one, so I guess this is a different era, as I said. but who knows? Like Blind Gaming Productions is on his own. Blind Tech Kid. Actually, Blind Tech Kid. Let's speak about him for a second. I know Blind Tech Kid. I actually have not met him personally. But the other guys I have met personally, not in person literally, but I basically have met everybody through calls except Alexa. And well, me and her talk, but we've seen each other in person, and I know her in person. But I've only seen her the one time, and I have never seen her again. So, particularly that's because that was in the middle of a camp session, and yeah. So, I think that's going to be about it as far as to meet blind people. I actually don't think I'll be putting any channels in the description. You'll just have to scroll and navigate yourself. Carrie, if you're wondering if you want to search her up, is Carrie Marie Kelly TTS Productions. But yeah, that's that. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this significantly long video. It's about 30 minutes. But I think, I covered most of what I needed to cover in the blind community. So overall, everyone is actually great. And Brandon, I wouldn't go where you always tend to go with the whole squishy stuff, because that's going to make people feel uncomfortable, and I just want this to be fun for, entertainment purposes and stuff. Hold on, and what the heck happened? Oh, okay, that's why. Okay. But there, I had to close up my computer because it was not closing correctly. But yeah, Brandon, I wouldn't go there right now because that's just going to make people feel uncomfortable, and I know some people have expressed it a few times, and I just never really bothered to say it in front of you because, I mean, I know how you are. I know you like to play around and stuff, but that's that. So, I'm not attacking you because of this. I'm just saying I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't, come at my video here with this kind of stuff, because it's just going to make someone feel uncomfortable and unconscious and stuff. Oh, also, by the way, the very last person I've met so far from the blind community, just a few days ago, Andrew, aka Blindy. I will for sure be putting his channel in the description, because he's actually a new kid, and I actually have featured his name in one of my videos, in my newest video, that is. And that was when I had to explain something that was going on with Zoom. But yeah, that got a lot of credit, and yeah. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and if you want to see how I interact with some of these guys in the blind community, just let me know, and then I'll... Okay, I don't know why my Google did that. That's weird. But if you want to ever see me interact, or what my interactions are like with some of the kids in the blind community, like particularly Matt, you can. Just let me know, and I'll probably create a stream, and then you'll get to see how I interact with the select people that I choose to put in my stream with the proper permissions and stuff. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, and peace.